And we're back.
We 100% have not tried to film the intro of this 3 times, and even at one point gotten 5 minutes into the conversation, only to realize that I turned the camera off. That hasn't happened, right, Cam?
I can't tell if we're just that good or if we're that bad.
I think it's a combination.
The technology just can't hang with us.
It was like, that bit was so funny that they said, no. You're not. See, now that camera's dead. Just forget that camera. This is what happens when you try to use 2 cameras. We're going to get into Omega Ball in a second. I'm going to bring up the chat GPT thing.
Dating.
Yeah.
The new era of dating.
Yeah. Because this podcast is going to be just, we were trying to think of talking points. Like, what would be funny to bring up on a podcast? But I'm not creative. I find the easy way out, which is just to have robots do the work for me. So I was going to type in chat GPT talking points, but then you have to make an account. I need a robot to make my account for me. Mm-hmm. So I need like chat GPT login edition, the freemium version. But then the idea is we do chat GPT on Tinder or Bumble or Hinge or Plenty of Fish or Grindr or Upward, or I don't know anything about dating apps. I've never used them. I just named 7 of them.
Clearly, yeah, clearly.
I've never touched
novice.
it. Yeah. Black people meet farmers dating, but farmers dating. I think all of those are legitimate.
Kind of ironic that there's online dating for farmers.
Amish dating. It's only when what do you call it when like the Amish people, when they're gone from the Amish world for a little bit? Like they release the Amish to the wild.
Defected?
No, like you've never. One time I was at the beach, and it was at that fishing spot that you and I eventually went to,
mm-hmm.
and I was fishing, and then my mom was talking to someone at the picnic tables, and it was an Amish like person. I don't know what the word is. I'm going to say on sabbatical. That's not the word. Yeah, they're on sabbatical from Amish life.
Right.
And they were talking about being Amish, and they're like, yeah, I like the beach. We don't have the beach in Amish, Pennsylvania. So,
or any part of Pennsylvania for that matter.
It's exactly. So anyway, Chat GPT versus Chat GPT is actually the next entire thing that we're going to do. And it's just Chat GPT is, you go on one of those dating apps and the icon is the logo of ChatGPT. And it's very apparent, like, you are dating ChatGPT. Do you want to do it? And I know girls are going to do this because I think I one time in college, and I say I think because I'm trying to pretend like I didn't do this. I 100% did this. I made a Jaden Smith, like Will Smith's son.
Smart.
I made a dating profile for him and I actually matched with people. And then I only used his tweets to talk. And I didn't get any answers, which is not too dissimilar to like normal.
No, you got no responses, you mean?
Yeah, I
or
got,
no one called you out for being...
Well, I think at the time, Jaden Smith was also like 15 years old. So it was a little weird, but people kind of caught on and then...
He was already peaked.
Yeah, he already peaked at that point.
That was the height of his career.
But I definitely got people who swiped, and then I matched with them, and then I tweeted at them, and they didn't respond.
Yeah.
So... Anyway,
you win some, you lose some.
Chat GPT will be obviously just having a conversation with the computer, whereas Chat GPT will be a male model. I'll actually just use Cam.
Ow,
and then
you're flattering me.
And then I'll just yeah, that camera's dead, so you can't even see it. And then I'll say, hey, Chat GPT, write a message like you're a male model, and we'll see what happens there. So I just talked because I'm mad that the cameras are going to die, probably just forever. But Cam, how are you doing? How was Omega Ball?
I'm good. Omega Ball is good. We are currently 2-time Omega champs. We're actually going for a 3-peat in April. I think it's Easter weekend. 2-time Omega champs. Yep.
Because we did the podcast before the World Cup and before I predicted everything correctly. And then you went to California.
We went to Carson, California.
But that was the second
the week
time.
before Thanksgiving. That was our second title.
Right. That's because you won. When was the first one?
That was back in August, the first week of August. That was on ESPN The Ocho out in South Carolina.
Oh yeah, and then the second one was on Fox.
Correct.
Dang.
Correct.
This guy's a champion. Like, Lionel Messi has never actually won Omega Bowl.
True.
You have done something in the soccer world that he hasn't.
True. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he would trade his most recent World Cup victory or his plethora of successes leading up to it, but if he wanted to trade, I mean, I'm open to having that conversation.
Because he's never been on ESPN 8 The Ocho, and he's never won the Omega Bowl. So
he's never won Omega. He probably doesn't even know what Omega is.
That's
the joke's on him.
Yeah. Guys, we got him. We did it. Take that, Leo. Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So we got another one coming up. It's going to be in Nebraska, which, I mean, who doesn't want to go to Nebraska?
I don't want to go to Nebraska.
I was going to invite you too.
Since you're asking.
That's awkward.
What part of Nebraska?
The Omaha part?
That's like the only civilization in Nebraska. You've got that, and you've got Lincoln. And then and then it's just corn.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Are you going to be playing in a cornfield?
Maybe they'll just do a little crop circle. Because we play on a circle field for Omega anyway, so maybe they'll just make a little crop circle in the middle of the field.
And then you get abducted. Like, they eventually just take players off and they get abducted by a UFO.
The winning team has been taken as tribute. But yeah, we'll be out there for Omega, and then we have a indoor tournament. Our local team here has an indoor tournament coming up in Virginia in a couple weeks. So that's probably our most recent one we have coming up. And then later this summer, actually June 1st, is when there's going to be a big boy.
What is that?
That's TST, Guys, soccer tournament.
We just revealed TST, which is actually a big deal because you probably know, like, #United's in that. Wrexham's in that. Mm-hmm. Who are some other teams?
Of the teams they've announced a first division pro club called Necaxa from Liga MX down in Mexico. Their ownership group is like Eva Longoria, Kate Upton, a lot of pretty big names in the acting community, professional athletes. So they're coming through.
Are you saying I have a chance to meet Eva Longoria or Kate Upton?
I think you have a great chance.
Oh man.
I think Chat GPT has a chance to put the moves on them.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to walk up to them with talking points that I'm going to say, Chat GPT, tell me how to seduce Kate Upton. And then I'm going to walk up to her and it'll be very nonchalant. I'll be holding this up and I say, I'm not filming you. And I'm just going to be reading, hello, Mrs. Upton. How are you doing today? I heard that you are dating and now married to Justin Verlander, right-handed pitcher for the Detroit Tigers. Oh, wait, no, he doesn't play for them anymore. He plays for the Astros. Well, he hasn't played for the Tigers in 6 years. ChatGPT really led me astray there, but maybe I have a chance. I thought I was going to only meet Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds is definitely the star of the show. He's been tweeting out. He's been posting. My favorite one was a picture of him at the gym, and he commented at TST and said, "It's a contact sport." So he's revving the engines. There's actually a recent article that came out suggesting that he's going to be suiting up and playing.
No way.
Rex. I'm not kidding. Him and Rob McElhenney, they're the two chairmen of Wrexham, and they're apparently going to be lacing up for this.
Can I 2-foot Ryan Reynolds?
You could.
Oh, wait, no, there's no slide tackling.
There's no slide tackling.
So I can't.
So it would be very ill-advised.
That's the only reason I can't do it.
That's the only reason.
Otherwise, I would have.
Other than that, it's a great idea.
It. I would have said, I don't like Deadpool.
But yeah, a little bit of background on TST. It's going to be $1 million tournament, so a lot on the line. 32 teams, World Cup format. It should be. They've been partnered with ESPN now for about 7 or 8 years on the basketball side, but this is going to be the first soccer tournament. So they're now branching out away from basketball, expanding into soccer, and I think down the line they're going to be adding other sports as well. That's at least the vision behind it. But it's a great group of people that puts this on, and obviously for us being a local team, you know, from where the tournament's going to be hosted, it's pretty cool to be a part of it.
Can you explain to the loyal viewers kind of how you ended up getting, because this is a big deal, and like, how did you join it?
Yeah, it was actually a huge process. So naturally, a million teams were applying and trying to get into the tournament. They're only going to put in 32. And when you're competing against pro teams from other countries, teams from top divisions in Europe, all over the place, men's and women's national team, legends, your resume is a hard way to stand out because you're going against the best of the best who've been there, done that. But for us, we just had to put in the work and show that we were hungry. Yeah. So we made highlight tapes. Luckily we were staying relevant, winning championships, 2-time Omega champs coming in. That definitely helped put us on the map a little bit. And then from there, it was just about reaching out and putting our best foot forward, saying, hey, we're passionate. We're all in our prime. We're fit. We're ready to go. And we want to definitely help put on a show because this is kind of like reality TV meets pro sports.
Yeah.
It's a different format than people are used to coming from just a normal professional league.
And we have never explained to everyone your friend Horacio, who was once at this house, who's actually kind of a big deal now.
Horacio Gutierrez Jr.
Yeah, Horacio Gutierrez Jr. Remember the name. HGJ.
Look him up. Yeah, he's a legend. He's been on the challenge. I first met him, we were roommates in Australia playing for a second division team over there, living in a basement 1 block up from the beach. Great location.
That sounds actually really fun.
It was a lot of fun. Could hear the ocean when you're laying in your bed.
Yeah.
We worked on a TV show when we were over there, but his life definitely took a turn when we came back. He landed a gig with Exathlon, which is a game show where you go on and compete. And then he's now, signed with MTV, and he was just on the challenge and made it all the way to the final of the challenge.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he made it all the way to the final. He was rookie of the year on the challenge. So
he plays soccer? It's not just like he's a random friend.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he'll play on the team? Is there a chance?
Yeah, he actually just texted me last night that he's officially a Rebel.
Oh, wait.
So he has
this
signed.
Wasn't even planned.
This is not planned.
Take that, ChatGPT.
I was not expecting you to ask that, but since you asked, I will reveal it.
I don't need talking points. I am the talking point.
He is a member of the Rebels, baby. We are getting the band back together. So the 3 of us who live together in Australia, Kenneth, who's our goalie, H, Guti, El Lobo, Horacio, whatever you want to call him, a man of many names.
I thought those were 5 different people. I was
a man of many names. He will be with us as well. So we're getting the Tazzy trio back together, as I like to call it. And then obviously we have a ragtag crew of gunslingers alongside him that are coming in from Raleigh.
And so the team is you explained this to me, and I listened because I'm a great friend. It was 14 total team, but then you can have 18 if people get injured. Is that right?
Yeah, and 18 rostered.
It's 7v7.
7v7
with a goalie, so it's
six
outfield players.
6v6 with a goalie, so 7v7 total.
Okay. So
no offsides.
And it's rolling subs. So like that full 14 could play. It's very similar to basketball, honestly. Mm-hmm. That's cool.
The games have to end on a goal. There's no PK shootouts. It's all you have to score a winning goal. So it's untimed. Well, after the 2 20-minute halves, it's then untimed to go to whoever scores that winning goal.
Oh, yeah, because I remember with the basketball tournament, they've got some funky rules to make it more exciting. Mm-hmm. Like if you get to a certain point or a certain time, then you have to score another goal. Like if it's 5 to 4.
Let's say it was 6-4, and we were winning because.
Yeah, we're going to win.
We will be winning. I don't know why that sounded so hypothetical. We're up 6-4, okay? We're up 6-4, and then the second half ends. We don't win at that point.
Yeah.
The game plays untimed to 7.
Yeah.
So it's a momentum sport like anything, and if that team who's down, trailing, that's not us, is able to score 3 unanswered goals, they win.
Yeah, so that's cool.
You can't just pack it in and kill time.
Yeah.
That's what they want to avoid is in a lot of these tournaments, a lot of high stakes. We've seen in the World Cup, right?
Yeah.
A team gets a lucky goal, and then they pack it in for 89 minutes.
That's pretty...
It's not that fun to watch.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. How long is the game?
It's 2 20-minute halves.
2 20-minute halves.
It's like college basketball kind of.
Oh, man, that's going to be intense.
Yeah.
That's why what I've always liked is roll on, roll off subs, because it keeps people fresh.
Yeah.
Like people kept complaining about they upped the subs from 3 to 5. And I mean, there are different reasons why it's bad for smaller teams in the Premier League. You don't have as deep a bench, so you can't just bring on a bunch of great players, whereas like Manchester City can't, right? But I mean, for this, yeah, there's going to be teams with deeper benches, but it just makes it so that's an important part too. You can't just have a great starting 7 and then have a couple super subs and that's it. You got to have a full team.
Exactly.
So who else has been officially announced on the team?
On our team?
Yeah, on your team.
So, I mean, we have a list of probably 9 names right now. Probably 10 names, actually, of our 14, so to speak. So we still have a couple open spots that we're realistically not in a super crazy rush to fill because we have time between now and the tournament, but we are going to be starting to build out our roster on the actual TST website.
Nice.
It's thetournament.com/TST. So that's where our roster will be when it gets finalized.
And if you guys didn't see, this was yesterday, wasn't it? Your video? Or was that 2 days ago?
Yeah, we just got announced by the tournament yesterday. So yeah, the Rebels are live. We've officially punched our ticket, and now we're just nose to the grindstone training, getting ready to go win this thing.
The team name is Raleigh Rebels, by the way. If
Raleigh Rebels. You can find us on the gram at Raleigh Rebs, and we also have a YouTube channel that's up and coming. So we'll definitely keep pumping out some content for everybody.
Yeah, and I'll put all the links and everything on this channel, and also I'm gonna.
And you're actually going to be helping out a lot with that content.
It's not like I'm just here to film bad podcasts. I'm also going to try to improve the filming quality for some of the training sessions and some of the even the game. Like
that's huge.
The tournament's going to be June 1st to the 4th. So how many? If you were to when you go the entire distance, how many games is that total? 4?
It is 7 games total.
Oh, so you're going to have some games. Some days you play multiple games.
We have 3 group stage games, and the way it's going to work is the first day. It's a 4-day tournament, June 1st to the 4th. The first day we play 2 group stage games. Day 2 you play the 3rd group stage game and then the first knockout round game. It's 8 groups of 4, so the top 2 advance. Assuming we advance, that means we play 2 games the first day, 2 games the second day. If we win that first knockout round game on day 2, game 2, day 2, then we advance and would play in the quarterfinals and semifinals day 3. And then the final would stand alone on day 4.
That's sweet. That's sweet. That's sweet. That's quite sweet, mate. I don't know when I was doing that. But yeah, so June 1st to the 4th, come down. I'm going to be here most likely unless I'm dragged away to Europe or something.
Yeah. They've got a crap ton of people on the wait list already. I think like 11,000. They're expecting
attendees.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
They're expecting probably closer to at least 20,000 for the actual event.
Do I have to
they're going to be there live?
Buy a ticket or something?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I need to probably do that.
Unless we can get you registered as game day personnel, in which case you can be on our bench.
Wait, do you guys have a manager?
You can get field pass content.
Do you have a manager?
Like we have a coach.
I'll be assistant coach.
That's perfect.
Yeah. I have over there. Run over there. I will provide the Powerade. We're not sponsored by Powerade. We're sponsored by
whoever gives us the most money.
Yeah, whoever wants to give us the most money.
Long as it's not soda.
Yeah, we don't drink soda. I'm Kylian Mbappe. I'll just throw it out and be like, no, I don't like that. Actually, no, that was Budweiser, wasn't it? The other day, a European person was explaining what Budweiser was to me as if I didn't know. And I was like,
that's embarrassing.
He's going, yeah, it's the thing that Lionel Messi he had a advertisement with. I'm like, I know what Budweiser is. I'm not that sheltered. I am a very sheltered person, but I know what Budweiser
You're
is.
Budweiser than you look.
Yeah. Oh, end the podcast there.
That's a walk-off homer right there.
I actually don't even know how long we've been going. Whatever.
Well, dude, I know we just talked about the tournament a little bit, but while we're on the topic of soccer, you did some predictions, did you not?
Oh yeah, I did some. That's a great segue. We didn't plan that at all. I did some predictions for the World Cup that you guys saw in the last podcast.
I haven't seen them yet. By the way,
I don't remember them because I think The only thing I know is I got the winner correct, which was Argentina. So I win the entire thing. Like, that's the only part that matters. Actually, before this, I was looking through to see, like, who did I pick? And in the round of 16, I don't know who I had winning each group or whatever, but I had Netherlands, England. Both of those teams did make it into the knockout stages. Argentina, Denmark. Denmark did not. Spain, Canada. Spain did. Canada did not. Brazil, Portugal. Both those teams made it. And you're like, this isn't that bad. And then it just starts to get...
It's kind of like 50%. I feel like you're like one for
I've
two
only had two
matchups.
people not make it. Well, the matchups are all incorrect. But then I had Wales, Senegal. Senegal made it. Wales did not. France, Mexico. Mexico did not make it. Belgium, Germany. Belgium did not make it. Germany did not either, I don't think.
I don't think so, no.
And then Uruguay, Switzerland. Uruguay didn't make it. I don't remember if Switzerland did. Then so none of those matchups were correct, but some of the teams were right. And then quarterfinals, I had Argentina, Brazil, and Wales, Uruguay. So it's like on one half of the bracket, you're like, yeah, okay, that's kind of good. And then the other side, it's like, why am I so pro Wales and pro Uruguay? And you know the reason? I realized the reason. I didn't do this on purpose, but it was Gareth Bale's last tournament, and I just wanted to root for Gareth Bale.
Yep, got nostalgic with it.
And then Uruguay has Rodrigo Bentancur, who plays for Spurs. I actually have a
White Hart Lane.
Yeah, White Hart Lane, but I go coys. I'm actually just gonna bring this and cheer for Spurs at the tournament. They're not even playing, but I'll cheer for them.
I mean, they might be in it.
Yeah,
you wouldn't know.
Who knows?
Stay tuned.
I thought Uruguay was gonna do well because Fede Valverde, Rodrigo Bentancur are just two of the most underrated midfielders in the world, in my opinion. And then
Preach.
I thought Luis Suarez would bite people and score goals. He didn't do either. And then I thought Darwin Nunez would be pretty quick up front. I don't think I watched all the Uruguay games, but anyway, my final was Argentina, Uruguay, Argentina to win. So I don't care. My predictions were pretty bad. You didn't even make any.
I didn't.
So
no.
Technically, I'm better than you.
You outperformed me, and you guessed the winner. That's pretty sick.
I feel like guessing the winner is the most important part.
Congrats, man.
Yeah,
that's
thanks.
Nice.
There you go. Pound it. So those are my predictions. Do you want to make your World Cup 2026 predictions right now?
I mean, my predictions look similar. Every year up till now, it's been America, and if not America, then hopefully Portugal.
I just realized I didn't even put the U.S. in. I didn't even believe in my own country.
Well,
I'm a true American.
I don't even think the U.S. scored a goal this World Cup. So
yeah,
we have like one guy who can kind of dribble, and then everyone else just runs around.
Yeah, this is why he went to Australia, guys. I don't claim him. See, I'm more USA than he is. All right, I'm gonna go 2026, which is in
Put
the
me
US,
in, coach.
Actually. 2026 is in the US, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go. Too much pressure. England versus France. France wins 4-2 in the final.
Whoa.
Yeah. Kylian
4-2.
Mbappe is going to score 2 goals, and Ousmane Dembele will score a goal, and then an unknown player who is coming up the ranks will score a goal.
Here's the thing, though, because I respect what you're saying. 4 years is a long time.
Yeah. If you think
a
about
lot
4
can
years
happen.
Nothing.
Because
is the same.
honestly, a team that is in the shadows right now could be at the forefront of the international soccer scene by then. So, like, I could see a team like Germany or Italy being hot in 4 years.
Yeah.
Right? Because we're talking about a full cycle in of new talent, a full cycle in of potentially a new coach, a new regime. I mean, just look at Morocco. I mean, they picked up their coach a month before the tournament, and they went all the way, into the knockout rounds and stuff, and made a great Cinderella run. So I would say it's going to be a team that has perennial significance, like a Germany or an Italy, but isn't hot right now.
Yeah, that's the craziest thing about soccer for me, and well, really all sports, is, I mean, just as an example, I remember when Kylian Mbappe burst onto the scene in 2016. I think he was 16 years old, maybe 17. and it was in the Champions League, and everyone was like, this was when his name was Kylian Mbappe Lotin, and I called him Mbappe Lotion. And I don't remember who, I think he scored against Dortmund. Yeah, he scored against City and beat them in the group stages, I think it was. There was one game where like Falcao went crazy, and the game was like 5-4.
Jeez.
And he was just so fast. And I was like, you always have these fast players, and you're like, yeah, but is there anything to them?
Mm-hmm.
And then he destroyed, I think it was Dortmund in the knockouts, and then he played against Juventus, and this was when Juventus had Chiellini, Bonucci, and
Buffon.
Buffon and Barzagli. That was like the back line, and it was just, it was 1 year or I think it was 1 year removed from them playing against Barcelona in the final, and I don't know if he scored. I don't know if Mbappe scored against them, but he was like terrorizing a not prime, like a little bit past his prime Chiellini.
Mm-hmm.
And I just like, oh, this guy is actually really good. And then fast forward 2018, he's crazy. 2022, still crazy. So that's how quickly things move. Like there's going to be people in 4 years that they're 16 right now, or they're like 15 years old. And then they're just going to be suddenly really good.
Yeah.
That's how that always, I don't know why, but it like makes me mad.
It's wild, man. It's going to keep changing. I do seriously hope that America can put together a team in 2026 that can make us proud.
Yeah.
You know, and I know we had a lot of higher profile players in terms of the clubs they played for and stuff like that, but it really comes when you're a fan and you care about your country, you just want to feel the passion of your team.
Yeah.
And you want to feel that fearless desire to win. So I'm hoping that we can at least bring that to the table. And, you know, if we scrap out some wins against some good teams, then that's even better. But I would just love to be proud of the passion. The
other thing is it's like such an important World Cup for the growth of soccer in the U.S. Because when was it? 94? Is that when it was in the U.S.? Maybe that's the women's? I don't remember.
Hey, I'm not the best with dates. I don't know off the top of my head.
It was in like the 80s or 90s. And the reason I was watching
92
something
maybe.
It was 98, and then it would have been like 94, 90 or 94. I don't know, but they did an interview with, it had like Alexi Lawless and the people in the 90s who were on the team, and I don't even think the MLS existed yet. And it was kind of like this was important to make it so people understood, oh, this is an actual sport and it's kind of interesting. Now, the Premier League is really important. Like the US is into soccer, but it's like you have nothing to really cheer about. And a lot of my friends, they just watch for the World Cup and that's it. And they're not really interested outside of that. But if the US goes probably into the quarterfinals or better, I'd say, especially if they go into the semis or the finals, I feel like then afterwards it could just take off. And then you've got a country with 300 million people who in all of the sports are like very athletic and pretty dominant for the most part. I just feel like that could lend itself towards the U.S. becoming
a powerhouse.
Now, it's not gonna be like overnight. I can tell the Europeans like, oh, this lad thinks that the U.S. going to win the World Cup before England, eh? Actually, tying it back to that was like a who is that? That was like some guy from Essex, I think. That was an Essex accent that I just did. Speaking of Essex, though, Spencer Owen, he's the owner of #United.
Yeah,
he actually predicted.
He just followed the Rebel account on Instagram, by the way.
Wait, okay, tell him to follow me. He one time I tweeted at him in 2016, and he liked it.
Whoa.
Yeah. So Spencer, I know you're watching this.
Dude, that's big time.
He inspired me to do all of this YouTube channel and everything. So he's an absolute legend in my book.
Give him a follow, Spence. He likes when you call him Spence.
Yes. I don't forget to hashtag it. I'm not going to hashtag it against the Rebels, but I will not forget to hashtag it.
Dude, if you're going to be on our bench,
I'm going to be.
I need you in our corner.
I'm going to be a secret agent. I'll just be going. No, but he predicted that this was like, I don't know, 2016 or so. He predicted that the U.S. would win a World Cup prior to England. I remember everything. So I'm holding you to that, Spencer. Also, actually, now that we're on the topic of like icons, I'm way more interested to meet him than anyone else.
Really?
Like that would be really cool for me. Because I'm not kidding. The only reason I'm doing this, the only reason I'm doing YouTube or anything is because of that guy.
That's cool.
That's how full circle it's become.
Wow. What a moment.
Take that, Chat GPT. I don't need your talking points. I come up with them. God. Oh man. Well, that's really exciting.
That's cool. I didn't know that you were such a big #United fan and a Spence fan.
I watch all their videos. Like #United, I think they just celebrated their 7th year of existence. Because he's done very well that I have not. And he's reached levels that are like, it's exponential compared to what I am. But he started he was called the FIFA player. This was back in like 2012 or 2013, I think into 2014. And he would like wear a mask and he would do some really weird accent. And he was like I think they called them roadmen they're like kind of street gangster type, I don't know, in England. And he would do that kind of shtick and play FIFA.
Yeah.
And then I think he just got bored of it. He's like, all right, I'm going to actually be myself. And then he's like, this is fun, but I'm going to actually I'm going to be my own person. And then he still did still did FIFA videos, but he did a lot of cool series ideas, Road to Glories, where he did one where he had a wheel and it was called the Wheel of Foot-Tune, and you would spin it and it'd be like, open a pack, discard a player, XYZ. And it was really cool, inspired off the Wheel of Fortune. He did another one where he only picked players in the London area, because you got a bunch of London clubs. This is all Ultimate Team stuff in FIFA.
Yeah.
So he did that, and he was really popular with that. But then, as with all video games, you get bored. Like, part of the reason why I've stopped doing, I used to do videos every day for FIFA, is because it's a burnout. You're doing the same thing over and over and over again, and you get in a creative rut. Because he and I are very similar in the fact that he's like extremely creative and really smart. Wow, that was such a compliment to myself that I didn't intend to do. He's exactly like me, he's really smart.
He's amazing.
He's an amazing individual. I was trying to compliment him and then
wildly successful.
Yeah, wildly, like the coolest guy in the world. No, but he was like, all right, I need to transition. I can't just keep doing FIFA because I'll bash my head into a wall. So he transitioned it into this idea of #United, and now he's the chairman of #United. It's grown.
That's really cool.
They are on I don't know if they won today because the video comes out on Monday, but they have won 17 straight games in like the
8th division. I think they're in 8th division.
Is it the 8th division?
I think so, yeah.
Which is that's not anything to sneeze at. Like that's pretty good. Mm-hmm. Now it's not.
That's a heck of a winning streak at any level.
Yeah, it's the longest in all of England, and it could be 18. I don't know if they won. So they're top of their league. They're probably going to get promoted. Yeah. And it would be wild to me to think like, is this team one day going to be in like the 4th division or the 3rd division? Or imagine #United in the Premier League.
I mean, if they're trying to sign some talent,
I
know
really
some
think,
guys.
I think you could play. Like that's what I think is the coolest part about this whole tournament is it's just exposure. So
it's an equalizer. I mean, you take people off of TV and you put them on a field, and you start to realize that, unless someone is, because there are some players that are just special, right? Like, for example, Mbappe is someone who is truly gifted, right? And Ronaldo at his prime, Messi at his prime, nobody could touch those guys. Yeah. But that's why they got the Ballon d'Or.
Right.
Outside of that, there's a lot of pros that are never going to have to work a day in their life again who made it.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of guys who have a lot of talent and can perform at that level who there's just not enough opportunities to go around at that level. So there's always going to be competition. I mean, even if you just look at England as a country, there's so much talent there. And at the age of 20, 21, whatever it is, guys get turned away from being a pro. That dream gets shut in their face. Yeah. So that's really, I don't know how this ended up coming full circle on this end, but that's what brings our team together as the Raleigh Rebels is we're all guys who have kept that dream alive, even though no one's rolled out the red carpet for us and said, here you go. You're a pro now. This is your full-time job, and you're going to be set for life because of your sport. We just do it because we love it, and we do it at a high level. And this is a cool platform, cool venue, because it gives us a chance to show the world what we can do.
That would make it so much sweeter too. Like the story of a Ronaldo or Mbappe or Messi, you find things in it. Like Ronaldo, he was always pretty talented, but he was just like a really hard worker. Messi, that everyone brings up, he was really small. He was always uber talented, but he had to get growth hormones injected. Someone like you, if you were to, show out at this tournament and then become some contract comes out of it or something like that, just I'm thinking of like a dream scenario.
And not even me, but I mean,
or
any of the guys on our team.
Yeah.
We'll have guys that are, just graduated college and are projected top MLS draft picks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like those guys could absolutely land a contract. For me, I'm not going into it with that type of expectation. I'm 27 years old and I just love this game. I want to compete and I want to win. So I just want to host that trophy for these guys. And hopefully they get the exposure they deserve, because I know that, a lot of these guys can play, anywhere.
Because that would be such a cool story to be like, everyone talks about Jamie Vardy, who was, working, he was playing semi-pro and drinking 15 Red Bulls, and he was working in some factory. I think they were making like diabetes medicine or something. I don't remember the story exactly, but everyone's like, oh, that's a story of a guy who doesn't give up. Or N'Golo Kante, I don't remember his story to the T. Everyone wants to root for the underdog.
Yeah.
And that's honestly what a tournament like this provides a platform for.
And there's even teams that are outspoken in this tournament that's their mission.
Yeah.
For example, Team Dempsey, right? Everyone's familiar with Clint Dempsey. He's, one of the all-time U.S. soccer legends, and he's putting together a team, and that's literally what he said. He said, I want my team to be an opportunity for players who are young and talented and hungry, who might not have gotten their chance yet, to get exposure at a high level. So it's cool that he's trying to use his platform to help other people get their opportunity.
Also, Dempsey's he's a former Spurs, so Goyce. I'll get him to sign this. Oh, that would be sweet.
There you go. Yeah. Bring that out.
I'll just bring that.
It sounds like you're just fangirling over every team that's not us.
Yeah. I
don't want to.
So far, I've cheered for #United, whatever the Kate Upton team is, and Clint Dempsey's team. So
yeah.
No, but I am going to be your assistant coach anyway, so it's fine.
Good. Yeah.
I'm going to be like one of those guys who gets way too involved, and I'll start shouting formations at you guys and be like, no, Cam, drop back, mark him.
Empty net, pull the goalie.
Pull the goalie.
Bases are loaded. Bases are loaded, swing for the fences.
I just get my sports confused.
Nice slap shot, Cam.
Yeah. Oh, Cam, one time at A.
Fumble. Jump on it.
I'll be a streaker. Oh, you guys, you know how you make it? If you have a person who streaks on the field and like does it for animal rights or something, that's how you know that you're gonna make it.
Spay your pets.
That was good. Yeah, don't forget to spay your pets, guys. The video's not over yet. This is a good chat. Yeah, I felt like
it's not a bad GPT.
I felt like we were off to a rocky start after fumbling the bag a couple times with the cameras. And
we're just getting sabotaged. That means we're bringing the world something it needs to hear.
Because you know what? That's not like it's never happened before. And then I get really mind confused because I go, did I already say this and it was recorded, or did I say this and it wasn't? And then
is this on a dead battery somewhere?
And I just start talking in loops. I'm like, it's like when you have one pizza restaurant and then you go, hold on one second, then you call another pizza restaurant, and then it's two pizza restaurants talking to each other. I'm going to do that with ChatGPT.
Well, you can't go wrong with ChatGPT.
Yeah.
I do have some things that I want to catch up on, because it has been a while since we chatted. And now that we're back together, we can hopefully have more of these conversations consistently. But I know that you're always working on your music. I mean, how's that been going? Your YouTube channel? I mean, there's a lot that we need to catch up on.
Yeah. And YouTube is... I was actually watching a video earlier of some guy, and it was like financial advice, and he's like, yeah, I mean, money's not everything. I like money because it provides me freedom. I'm like, yeah, that resonates so much with me, because I am a cheap I'm a cheapo.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, speaking of artificial intelligence, I was looking at this thing at work, and they were showing me a demo of a tool, and they pulled up my work email address, like the person doing the demo trying to sell me this. And he goes, so based off of, I don't know, whatever secret formula, it's giving me some characteristics about you. And the first thing I see is like extremely price sensitive. I'm like, how does this know this about me? And then there were like 4 or 5 other characteristics all on the nose. It just really freaked me out. But I mean, that's what I work so much during the week that I need something to decompress. And what is kind of unfortunate is like I don't always build in time to do YouTube. It used to be I get home and I just crank out a video and I post it and I'm done with it. And that was good because of consistency, but it was also probably not the best or most exciting content. Like I remember getting annoyed and just being mad during the videos. And I always try to I don't want to spread negativity because I don't think that people like watching negative people on YouTube, or at least I wouldn't want to do that. So I wouldn't want to spread that kind of video. So it was good for consistency, but probably the content quality was downgraded as a result of, quantity. It was quantity over quality back then. So I'm still doing the player reviews, and definitely part of it is what's a little bit dissuades me is the fact that, videos used to get like 2,000 to 3,000, 4,000 views pretty consistently, which is, it's not about the views, but that definitely does play a factor. You naturally look at the
feedback
number.
loop. I mean, it's validation.
Exactly. So now, I'll do a video and get like 400, 500 views. And I'm like, oh, dang, I guess that wasn't as interesting as it used to be. The last video though it was actually that Cristiano Ronaldo one, and it's up to like 2.8 or 3,000 views.
Nice.
So that's like, okay, nice. I think I'm getting back to where I need to go.
Is there ways to reach more people by, sponsoring a post or something? Like, what tactics or strategies can you employ other than just making more and more videos?
Yeah.
Or maybe trying to experiment in making different types of videos. What else can you do?
I mean, there's this thing because I used, I know we're going to plan to talk about the music because I'll get into that. Mm-hmm. What I used was called, I don't remember the name of it, but it was some advertising thing for my Spotify. And I had a promo for the first month. Second month was like the normal $50 or whatever it was. And it jumped up my listeners from 200 to 3,000.
Whoa.
So I was getting 3,000 Spotify listeners, and I think I have a lot of followers now too.
Okay.
My only concern was like, are these just bots or are these actual people listening to it? And
well, yeah, because I know people can buy likes and followers and stuff on Instagram too, and people can usually tell if the engagement doesn't match up with the amount of followers you have. Like if I see an account with 10,000 followers and they're getting like 30 likes, you know that they bought followers because the engagement doesn't match up.
Yeah. And that I've never bought followers on anything, and not on my YouTube channel. And that's like, I've been stuck around this 15,000 subscriber mark for a long time because I haven't been super consistent with uploading, but I'm actually really proud of that number because I know I could have just gone to this thing, like thing that's for Spotify. They have the same idea for YouTube, and it's like, we'll get you more subscribers. I'm like, if it were natural and it was like, we'll do advertising for you to bring people over, I'd be cool with that because that sounds legitimate. But if they just create spam accounts and then subscribe to me, I don't want that.
Yeah, it's inflation.
You're right. It's
what
inflation.
It is. It's not real impact because there's got to be something. There's a little bit of integrity to your mission on why you want to create content, right? Yeah. If there's something you want to give to the world, like you said, that's a great example. You don't want to spread negativity.
Yep.
You have a natural ability to entertain people. I mean, I know you pretty well at this point, and I know that you're a very caring and thoughtful person. You put the needs of other people before yourself, and that is a very unique quality. So I think the more you can let that shine through, it will help you differentiate. Because there's a lot of people. The internet is full of people who it's all about them, and their content screams, all I care about is myself, not I'm here to make a positive impact on other people. It's, hey, look at me. Look at this outfit that I made for me. You know, so maybe there's some kernels there. I just respect the fact that you're staying true to that integrity of who you are.
Yeah, and the reason is because I think I mentioned this on the last podcast, how like there was a while where I'd taken a break, and then someone sent me an email, and he was like, hey, and it was a really thoughtful letter. Like, you helped me through tough times. I understand, FIFA's not that fun, so I get why you're taking a break, but just thanks for all like the laughs and everything. I was like, man, that really hit home, and that touched me. I was like,
yeah,
that's pretty sweet. And even with, like, this is what bothers me, is that I feel like people would still watch my videos, but they might get hidden or something because I'm not being consistent.
Mm-hmm.
So on that Cristiano Ronaldo review, someone comments, "Oh my gosh, I haven't seen you since FIFA 19. I was wondering what your channel name was for so long. Glad I found you." And it's like,
nice.
Maybe he didn't subscribe, which you should have done.
Yeah.
But I also am like, man, if I just got the exposure, similar to like what you're talking about with the exposure for, because I think I'm entertaining. I was gonna say talented, but I don't really think I'm that talented at playing a video game. But I think I'm entertaining enough that I see other people who they might know like one or two tricks where it used to be I would make fun of like people screaming. They would do the thumbnails where they're like, oh. Then I started to implement that too, because I'm like, I got to do something. So I just always want to stay true to the fact that I'm not going to make it about myself as much as I can. And I want to make it as much about being entertaining. And, maybe I have to act kind of dumb. Yeah. I act like a fool for that. But if people get a kick out of it, I don't mind it.
Yeah. And if you're enjoying it as well.
Yeah.
Because there is some of that entertaining piece. Like being an actor, would you call an actor a bad person because they're playing a character and not themselves?
Right.
No, I mean, they're doing their job, and their job is to entertain and to tell stories. So your job is to create content that engages people, that entertains them.
Yeah.
And there's no shame in that, but you do want to always make sure that your content is a reflection of the type of impact you want to make on people to a certain degree.
Yeah.
You can have fun with it. There's a lot of latitude there.
Because I remember when I was in college, I shared an apartment with my sister, and I would when I was recording a video, I'd say, hey, I'm recording, and I'd go into the living room because that's where the TV was. She would shut her room, and there was the door to her room. And there was one point where I was like doing the intro, and I had only been doing YouTube videos for like a month or 2 months or so. I was like this awkward college kid who wasn't really good at talking, especially to a camera. It's weird to just talk to a camera and not have another person there. And I pause, and then she just comes out of her room and she goes, why are you talking so unnaturally? Like you're very, well, actually, no, back then it was, why are you talking so monotone and like not really engaging? Cam, why do you keep turning off everything?
I keep pushing buttons. I don't know. I think I bumped something with my foot.
So
there's a lot of cables going around here.
The last thing that, yeah, I do have too many cables. The last thing that I was talking about was my sister making fun of me because I was so monotone when I was first starting YouTube. And then we were talking about like, oh yeah, monotone people suck is basically the gist of it. But
be weird.
Yeah.
But don't force it.
Don't force your weirdness.
Consent is important.
Yeah, especially in the weirdness factor. What was I going to say though? Yeah. Oh, I think, because I don't think I'm good at public speaking, but I think I've definitely become comfortable like talking in front of a camera and talking to groups of people. I still definitely get nervous when I do have to do like presentations and speeches and stuff like that, but I think I'm much better and more well equipped to handle them compared to when I was not doing YouTube. So I actually have to credit like doing all this. You just start to learn how to talk.
Yeah. I feel like it's also different if you're talking about things that are very personal to you versus just speaking words. Like if we were to get on here and we did a podcast about our deepest insecurities. Like,
oh, that's actually next episode.
Spoiler alert. Like you had to get up here and talk about the worst,
moments of my life.
The worst thing someone's ever said to you and the way it made you feel, right? Or
this is what makes me wake up at night.
Yeah, exactly. Right? Like something like, what are you most embarrassed of in the whole world, right? If we just went down a list of questions that are not fun, almost coming to more like an interview.
Yeah.
Like if I were to look at you and say, well, what makes you special, Jared?
What makes me special?
Yeah, like why should we hire you?
Oh, like I'm being interviewed now.
Yeah.
No, you're being interviewed. You're on my show. I'm interviewing you. I turn the tables. It's all about sales, guys. Yeah, no, I agree. I think if you're talking, what's actually happened, I don't know if I've said this on this podcast or like where I've said this. We've only done 2.5 episodes, but one time when we went remote, I took a call and I went into my basement, which is the same area that I would film videos. And I was on a call with a customer and I was like talking through and doing everything. And then at the end, I almost said, don't forget to spay your pets. Have I ever told you that? Did I ever tell you the story?
No.
Yeah. Because I was like in the same chair and
you were in the mode.
I was in that mode.
It was ingrained in your mind.
I was in that mode, and I had probably at that point said, "Don't forget to spay your pets" 900 times.
That would have been really embarrassing.
And I think I started to say, "Don't," and then I transitioned it to, "Don't let me."
Don't forget to close the door on your way out.
No, it was something like. Oh yeah, I changed it to don't hesitate to
reach
out if you have questions or something like that. But it's more like don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions. It's like, was this guy about to say don't F me or what was he
Meanwhile, everyone hesitates to reach out.
Meanwhile, everyone now hesitates.
That'd be such a good meme.
Yeah.
Me hesitating to reach out to ask my one question, ask all my questions.
I always hesitate. This is me when I'm about to ask a question, especially to someone above me. I go, can I just figure this out on my own? Like, I'd rather suffer in silence than ask this person and make myself look like a dunce.
I could definitely send this email tomorrow, right? Yeah.
No, actually, what I do is I set it on a delay so the email goes out later, so then I don't have to see a quick reply.
Yep.
Yeah. So I avoid all conflict.
That's smart. That's smart.
Gosh.
So yeah, when you're saying things that are more personal, it takes you to another layer of feeling vulnerable and exposed.
Yeah.
Right? That's kind of basic human behavior and experience. But let's get back to you touched on the YouTube, but let's also get back to your music, because the last time you actually played one of your newer songs for me,
that was when
I loved it.
Oh,
yeah,
actually,
you played a song for. I mean, you didn't perform it live, but you played the recording of it.
Yeah,
and I was blown away.
So I have been kind of putting that off a little bit.
Okay,
but I mean, I don't know. Every time I think about it, I'm like, I need to do that more. So let me explain like what I've done. I have 4 songs because there's no point in me really releasing an album. It's not like people are going, when's the next LT album drop? So I think I'm more in the mode of like, let's just get stuff out there. Mm-hmm. But I had been in that mode before from like 2020 to 2021 or so. And then I was like, let me settle down, because it's very easy to, when you make a song, you'll find a song and you're like, man, this is the hit. This is it. This is so good. Mm-hmm. And then you listen to it the next day and you're like, what is this garbage? Or even like the longer that you sit on a project, I find that you get fresher ears and then you find new perspectives and make the song better. So as opposed to doing a song and then like, I got to get this out right now, the world needs to hear this, I wanted to sit on it and then continually improve gradually over time. So what I sent to you, I was happy with. Like, I think that was a good foundation for those 4 songs for the new EP. But then I had recorded that, like, this is a good mic, and the solid state audio thing that just crashed on me is actually really good. That was the first time it's ever crashed. But this room isn't treated. It's not like I have a professional setup here. So I went to my friend who he has a bunch of cool stuff, and he has the studio in his house and really nice microphones and everything. A treated room. It's professional grade. That's GMC's tagline. I just stole that, but professional grade. But I went and recorded the vocals there, which I had never done anything like that for all 4 of those songs. And I listened to them like, dude, this is crispy. Like it was a nice mic. It got rid of a lot of the sibilance is like the S's that are really sharp and like kind of jarring. It got rid of a lot of that stuff, and just the overall quality was better. But then, I'm not a professional mixer or engineer or audio engineer or anything like that. I know my way around it, and I can make it sound pretty good. But I went the extra step again, and my friend, honestly, he actually had time with a studio guy, with a professional engineer, and he had to cancel. But then the guy's like, I already booked it, so you have to give me something, or I'm not returning the money, basically. So he sent over one of the rough draft of everything, and the guy mixed it for me, and it sounded way better than anything I would have done. And then I was like, hey, maybe there's actually something here, because I'm such a cheapo, like I mentioned, that I'm like, no, I want to do it myself. I'm just stubborn.
Right.
And then my friend happens to know,
being a perfectionist and a cheapo is a bad combination.
It's a bad combination because you don't get things done, especially when it's like I'm attached to these songs. Like, these songs actually have meaning, and I don't want to just throw them out there.
Yeah.
Anyway. So then I was like, maybe I need to look into this. And my friend's like, yeah, my dad is friends with the guy who is the main audio engineer for Hootie and the Blowfish. So Hootie and the Blowfish, American band from, I don't remember, the 80s or 90s or something. And the lead singer is Darius Rucker, Wagon Wheel.
Yep.
And
I'm familiar.
He's here. He's in Raleigh. So I was like, okay, let's do it. So I sent over the rough track and the rough vocals and the instrumental and everything. I actually couldn't go because it was during work. So my friend went for me, and the guy mixed it. I'll play for I'll put it maybe I'll put it in this podcast. I don't really know how that'll work. I'll play it for you afterwards.
Yeah.
But I listened to it, I'm like, God, this sounds so much better than anything I would have done.
Dude, that's
so
cool.
Now I've got these 4 songs. 2 of them are kind of professionally done. The other 2 I did myself. And there are parts of it that I like more that I've done, and parts of it that the audio professional guy's done that I like more. And so the part I was waiting for now, because if I wanted to, I could release everything. But it's like, maybe I should do a video. But I'm kind of like, do I need to do a video? Maybe I could do what they do is like 10 to 15 second little clips, and then, or they do like what I've seen is, which is pretty nice, is they'll do something like, it's a rainy day. I used to have a fire pit, but I gave it away. Maybe it's just us sitting by the fire pit chatting, but then the video is like, it's recording us, and then you just put the lyrics underneath. So it's like the lyrics video, as opposed to just being lyrics. It's like the lyrics at the bottom, but then there's some cool audio that you're kind of watching, and it's usually something in nature. So it's really low key, relaxed. I was like, maybe that would be cool, because I've got
I feel like it just has to match the vibe
right.
of each song.
Exactly.
I mean, that's one where you can't have just a generic template that you use for all your songs, because for a song to hit, everything, the form has to match the function. All of it has to come together to help make the experience cool and unique.
Yeah. So I mean, what I am most proud of when it comes to the music is every time I listen to it, I'm like, this is better than the last songs I made. So I can go through, because I still have a Spotify account, and I can listen. I think the first song I ever released was like 2018. And actually, some of those songs, I still listen to them. I'm like, this is really good. But then I'll listen to it, like, the microphone quality wasn't that great. My mixing wasn't that great here. Then I'll listen to the next year. I'm like, oh, this is a little bit better. And I like what I did here. And then I'll listen to the next year. I'm like, this is even better. And it just keeps improving and stacking. Yeah. If I saw that I was getting worse, I'd feel like, what am I doing? Yeah. I need to go back to the $20 microphone I was using.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's every time I get kind of down in the dumps at times. I'm like, man, I just work and work and work. And that's all I do. And
because you feel like you're not working on your dreams. You feel like you're just working for your job.
But also because I'm in such a... I like to do things that you get returns on them when you're not actually doing them, if that makes sense.
Big passive income.
Yeah, I took that idea from passive income. That's why I like investing so much, is because I'm like, oh, I get returns and I don't even have to do anything. But then, you do something like, if I were to just play a video game, I kind of am doing that for the dopamine hit, but then afterwards I feel awful. Yeah. I feel empty. So then what I did is I'm like, okay, let me make a YouTube video of me playing video games, so then I can get the return afterwards, because I get to watch that video stays there. It's scalable. People will watch it and enjoy it. And then I still got to play the video game. So I'm like, how do I monetize that?
That makes sense.
I found the same thing with music. Like, it's a little bit different because I wouldn't get, with music, you kind of get dopamine hits, but it's not as jarring as
you're creating something.
Yeah, you're creating something.
It's very different than just playing a game.
Yeah.
When you play a game, it's totally transactional.
Right,
you
exactly.
didn't create anything really.
Transactional. Extra long transactional. But then with music, it's like, I'm not chasing my dreams. I'm not doing anything. And then I'll make a song. And honestly, I don't like making a song. I mean, that's hard to kind of I have to explain that and put more color on that.
You mean the technicals of making a song, or
no, the process of making a song stresses me out because
it's precision.
I want it to be really good, and I hate to feel like I'm wasting time with. There's so many songs that I've just abandoned halfway through that it's just like this huge jump that I'm like always doubting myself if I can make a song. And then when I do one that I actually really like and it's catchy, I just feel so good for a week or so. I've noticed that about myself. It's like, man, I did that and it's good, and I can keep listening to it. I'm like, nice, I did something good. I did something good today. I'm like a psychopath. Good job. Good job. That should be a video. It's me dressed up like the Joker, just being a weirdo. So yeah, I mean, that's why I still to this day, I'll go back and my sister will make fun of me because sometimes I'll be listening to my own songs from a while ago. And part of it's to see, it's like nostalgic for me because I can remember where I was and what I was doing. And she'd be like, you listen to your own music? I'm like, hey, I'm just trying to remember like where I was and what I've kind of come from. So yeah, that's why I will always do music, even if I like to put it on YouTube and Spotify to commemorate it. And if people listen to it, that's cool. But it's so I have a spot that I can just warehouse it and go back to. So,
absolutely, man. That's awesome. I think it's so, I've been your number one fan for a while now. And I hope you feel that I'm in your corner on that, because I know that it's hard to put yourself out there in that way. You know, you're someone who has a very high standard for the work that you do.
Right.
But you're also such a creative person that I hope you can find a happy medium of putting yourself out there and not prejudging yourself, because that's really hard to do. Everyone struggles with that. So I would say that's normal if that's how you feel a lot of the time. But I mean, when you put your stuff out there, it has the chance to impact more than just yourself. Yeah. And that's pretty special. Yeah. You know, I think that's the most rewarding aspect of art and creating and passion and all that good stuff.
100%.
So with the skill set that you have, I don't think there's any pressure that you have to be a famous world-class musician even if you don't have to be the most famous YouTuber, or you don't have to be the best at something to have it be a very rewarding aspect of your life. So as long as it stays something that you are passionate about and that you can enjoy putting yourself out there, but if you find it to be a source of you're just never measuring up to what your expectations are, because that happens to me all the time. I get down on myself and I feel discouraged because I also have high standards, and I feel like if I'm not hitting a certain threshold, then I'm not doing enough. And that's it puts you in a bad state of mind, because then you start to see it as a burden rather than a gift, right? Something that you could be doing for people, you view it as a burden in your life.
And then you're, as opposed to being on the front foot, you're on the back foot because you're being defensive. You're like, I don't want to mess up. And what I've always noticed is, I can't remember. I thought of something really, really smart, because I have these moments where I think of something that's really smart.
You and Spence,
and like,
man,
me and incredible. Spence, we're like so smart and cool. I don't remember what it was, but it was like the moment that you start going on the defensive and try not to make a mistake is when you make that mistake. And I thought of some metaphor in real life that was actually really accurate, but I can't remember it here.
It'll come to you.
Yeah, but it's the same thing when you start to doubt your own abilities, is when you start to not do things and you I'm not that good. I'll stop chasing this dream, or I'll stop doing XYZ because I'm not good enough. There are people out there who are better.
Yeah.
But if you just get into the flow state where you're like, I enjoy doing this, you almost have to go back to caveman brain. And it's like, I enjoy doing this. I'm going to play soccer. And then you start to play it and you just get into the flow state and do it very well.
Mm-hmm.
But as soon as you overthink and start becoming very critical, like, am I good enough to play this game? Like, these guys are, you psych yourself out.
You doubt yourself, man.
Yeah.
They say all the time in sports that if you go into a tackle halfway, you're way more likely to get injured as if you go in with everything you have.
Yeah.
And I guess it's like that in life, right?
Exactly.
If you're going into a tackle, aka putting yourself out there, making a song, making a video, whatever it is, you got to give it everything and just launch it.
Yeah.
And let the chips fall where they may.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's a important lesson for whatever anyone cares about or does to take away from what you've experienced so far.
100%. So, I mean, this is I'm pretty excited. Like, for the people out there, I was thinking about going to Europe in May, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna miss out. I might miss out on going to the tournament. But now I'm like, no, I think it works out well. It's June 1st to the 4th, so I'll probably be able to get the best of both worlds, which would be really cool. The best of the old world and the best of the new world. And actually, everyone is going from Europe over to the U.S. for this. So
Europe's gonna be a ghost town.
Yeah,
there's gonna be a couple tumbleweeds.
Gonna be gone.
There's gonna be a couple tumbleweeds blowing across Europe if you get over there.
Clint Dempsey's from Texas, so he'll send the tumbleweed over there. All right. What else do you want to talk about? We've got a lot of content. This was great. We only had 5 technical issues where everything shut off.
We've had a lot of stop starts.
Yeah.
This has been Squid Games.
Nah, but honestly, this was a very good flow. We'll see you guys again in 4 months. No, but you know what I want to end it on? We've got, like, do you think the other guys on the tournament or on the Raleigh Rebels team for the soccer tournament would be interested in joining this?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. I've got a couple guys in mind that I would love for them to come be a part of these conversations.
Yeah.
And, you know, for you to pick their brain, and hopefully there's a lot of nuggets that a lot of people, anyone who ends up watching any of these videos, can take away and apply in their life.
Yeah.
You know, I think at the end of the day, that's why we're doing this.
Yeah. I like to do this because I think Cam is more of a dreamer and, like, he's very on it, and I like to just kind of be a clown. I still have my own dreams, but it's like you don't have to fit into a certain mold to do what you want to do and be successful and be happy in life. You can do anything that you really want to, as long as you're doing what you enjoy and going after what it is that you want. That's the most important baseline foundation that you have to have in your life.
Preach, brother.
So yeah, I mean, I've already been brainstorming some other ideas that we could do about, if you guys remember on the main channel, I did professional soccer player versus, I don't know if I gave myself amateur or YouTuber title. I'm an amateur YouTuber, and I think that was pretty cool, but we didn't have a goalkeeper. We'll have a goalkeeper in Ken, and we've got some other guys out there, so we could, like, you know, do some different challenges, and we start to meet the crew. Yeah. And people will start to go, oh,
we can do a crossbar challenge.
Yeah.
We can do some fun stuff. Maybe as we start locking out some sponsors for the Raleigh Rebels, we can even do some, like, merch giveaways and stuff like that. That'd be pretty fun.
Definitely. Yeah. I've got my own merch, as you guys have seen in the videos. It's my sun hat. My sister actually made this, so this is the only one that exists. I've also got a dad hat somewhere. My dad actually started wearing it because he thought it was for him. I'm like, oh, wait, hold on, but then I would have had to explain the whole concept of, no.
Easier to just give it to him.
Yeah, easier to just give it to him. It's like, why would you have a hat that says dad? I'm like, because it's the running joke is, like, my dad abandons me, so then I am, and he'd be like, what? So I'm like, never mind, just keep the hat. But I've got that. I've got some wristbands too, and
nice.
You know, my brother actually is, like, selling stuff on Amazon. We could probably figure out a way that either through Amazon or through like making our own Shopify website or something like that, we could hook some people up with some merch. Because I know people have asked me, like, hey, can I get the hat? Can I get the wristband? Yeah. We do some cool Raleigh Rebels times LT cross functional stuff, or just straight up Raleigh Rebels.
Yeah, that'd be good.
We could do that. So guys, you better cheer for the Raleigh Rebels at the soccer tournament, because if you're not cheering for them, then you're essentially saying that you hate me. So you can't do that. I know I'm wearing sun, but I'm your dad. And yeah, we've got I've talked to some of the guys there too that they've got interesting stories. We've got some cool video ideas too. So stay tuned. I promise we're not going to just abandon you for 4 months. Well, that's how we tie it back. I do abandon them because I'm their dad and I go shopping for cigarettes and I leave them in the store or whatever. You know? Exactly. I abandon them. I won't abandon you this time. I've turned a new leaf. But any last words, Cam?
That was good.
That was good.
I enjoyed it. Let's not wait so long. Let's keep doing these conversations. I think they're just really helpful even for us. Even if, one, maybe two people out there enjoy it, but man, it just feels good because life is moving pretty fast. That's one thing I've noticed is that I don't know how it's been 4 months since we did this last time.
I know.
Life's crazy. Going really fast. So
it's 2023.
I want to make sure that we make the most of it.
Where's my flying car? I was promised one of those. But let us know in the comments too. I'm going to post this around, like what other videos you guys want to see. Comments about the challenges, comments about what you want us to talk about. Mm-hmm. I bet there's some aspiring professional footballers here who are younger, and you've actually got a legitimate person who, not just me giving my bad advice. I used to do a series called Really Bad Advice. I'm not kidding. I would give people really bad advice. So now I can give you really bad advice, and then Cam can come in and clean it up with some actual good advice. So you can be on your path to pro. Yeah. Exactly. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Hope you enjoyed it. And Cam, do you want to say it?
How about you close it out for us?
Okay.
You close it out for us.
Don't forget to spay your pets.